Hey guys, welcome to Talking Tiny with Tara. So, I want to debunk a couple of ideas that people might have about living tiny. There's some myths, some ideas, some paranoias, some misunderstandings. So, let's talk about just a few of them at this point. So, number one, space. Is there less of it? You guessed it, there is. So, you have to be more organized. You have to be more purposeful with the things that you do have in your life. But by and large, you still have a couch, you still have a bed, you still have a shower, you still have a washer and dryer. You still have all the things that I think are important. And the number one thing that I think is important is climate control, which is very cost effective in a tiny home. So yes, there's less of it, but it's more purposeful. Okay. What do I do if I want to have Aunt Sally or Aunt Jilly or Uncle Buck or cousin Bill? Bill comes up a lot lately. Anyway, not the point. Yes, you can still have guests. You can have a pull-out couch. You can have an air mattress. There's also going to be at some point, there's no promise of timeline, but there's also going to be a couple of tiny homes on the property that you can sign out. So if you do have a family of 3 or 4 coming into town, you can actually sign up to utilize the tiny home during that time frame, which will be completely free of charge, by the way. The tiny homes that we want to bring on that have that capacity is more so people can come onto the property, tour them, look at them, understand what they're all about. So if you want, your sister and brother-in-law and 6 kids to come in town for a weekend, there will be a space for them. So just to add that into that. Safety. Here's a big myth. Tiny homes aren't safe. I would encourage you to look up a NOAH, NOAH certified tiny home. They can withstand winds up to 145 miles per hour. That's substantial. They are safe. And we don't get that kind of weather. I am not going to build a tiny home community on Tornado Alley. Like, that doesn't seem to make any sense at all. However, they're built very well. You have to be very good at understanding who's building your tiny home, how your tiny home is being built, and what materials are being used to fully understand this. But once you become an advocate for yourself and fully understanding how some of these are built, yes, there are some out there that are very poorly built. However, there are some houses that I could say the same about. I mean, just take a drive through Fort Edward and you'll see there's a lot of houses falling down. There's also a lot of houses that are still standing 100 years later. It's all in who builds it, the materials that are used, and how it's built. The quality is very important. Tiny homes go from $50,000. I've actually seen some sheds that have been converted into $25,000 range, all the way up to $200,000. I mean, you can really spend as much money as you want, just like in anything. But it's not about whether you have marble countertops. It's really about your framework and how it's attached to the frame of the trailer and things of this nature. And these are all things that you need to ask and you need to know about before buying anything. But they are very safe. They're built with the same kind of windows. They're built with the same kind of infrastructure in the walls, the insulation. There are some tiny homes that are building 2x4 structures. Not a fan. 2x6, I am a fan. But those are the processes that you have to go through and understanding what works best for you. Another component would be storage. So there are going to be 2 dynamics that's Lodi. There's going to be 2 dynamics that are going to help you with this. So storage, you will be allowed to have a shed on your site. Again, there's no more than 4 tiny homes per acre. So you're going to have a lot of square footage outside of your tiny home where you can put a shed. Also, we are going to have a portion of the property where people can put trailers, snowmobile trailers, bike trailer, motorcycle trailers, things like that. And you can put stuff inside of those trailers. So there will be some options to help you guys through that. And I really want to help you kind of get a visual understanding of the property. So, we are going to have a community space where people can come, we can sit and have activities. And then there's also going to be fire pits around the property where people can sit and have gatherings and things like that. So if you have any more questions about this, or there's other areas that maybe I didn't hit on, please let me know. Again, I will do my very best to answer those questions. Otherwise, have a great rest of your day, guys.